Praise be to our Lord Cthulhu, master of all things. Hi everybody. No, don't worry. It's okay. It's just me. It's me. Hey, don't be scared. It's me. Chris George. Cthulhu Death May Die just arrived at my house. I pledged for the base pledge. I saw this was going on. I did a 5 reasons you shouldn't back, and for once I was unable to talk myself out of purchasing it. And so I purchased this for my cool $100 US, plus shipping was like 150, 160 Canadian. And it has since arrived at my door. I got in on a group buy, which if you are ever backing large box campaigns and you live in a populated city, chances are there are other board gamers who also have a similar addiction to you, and they are also going to back those sorts of games. And you can all join together and save on shipping. So really, I did save a bunch on shipping or else it would have cost me more, and I figured I'd open it up. I've never played Cthulhu Death May Die, but I am really excited because I've heard nothing but great things as to its pedigree, and I am kind of pretty friggin' thrilled to check it out. To check out a game by Rob Davio and my favorite designer of all time, Eric Lang, who when I was over at his house playtesting something, the only time I've really ever met Eric, I got in through my neighbor and not friend Yuval. Yuval embarrassed me by saying, listen, Rising Sun is this guy's favorite game of all time. And Eric Lang said, oh, that's cool. And I said, yeah, I like it's cool. It's like cool. It's like whatever. But I'm just like playtesting your game. Oh, it's cool. But I haven't tried this one. So maybe it's horrible. Who knows? Already the little shine. That's the worst ASMR anyone's ever heard. There's also already a little nice texturizing glossing on the front of the box. Ooh la la mama. Yeah, let's look at the back because this page just fell off because they have to put it on for French and for language editions. Haha! Spot the difference. It's down here. Oh, that's nice. This is recommended card sleeves. 2 green and 2 orange. I'll just get any green and any orange and just smash them on there. So you can get a nice good mash shuffle going on. Alright, let's open this big boy. I'm pretty excited about Cthulhu Death May Die. It's basically just a big old dungeon crawler where you can go more and more insane as time goes by. Here's our rulebook. 10 investigators coming in the base game, but then you get a bunch more with the stretch goals. At the start of each game, players choose an episode box and an Elder God box, or an Elder One box, and you combine their components. So you can play a certain scenario with a certain Elder God. Episode box provides a map layout, the ritual they're trying to disrupt, and how to disrupt it, as well as the abilities of the monsters in the games. The Elder One provides the big boss they will fight. Like that handsome feller. Give us a kiss! So you'll lay it out in a certain sort of layout. You can see the episode box text, episode cards, 2 special actions that investigators can take. And then we have the Elder Ones who have their own flavor, their own mythos cards. Cool. We have this storyboard which provides a hub of information, shows the Elder Ones cards, the episode cards, and the monster cards, and then some Elder God minions. And then there are these things called discovery cards. That can be a help or a hindrance. You do what's in the middle, you get the thing on the side. Then you have the mythos cards. They drive the horrors of the game. Players will grow to hate them. Then you have the enemies. So there you go. This is officially Season 3 of Cthulhu Death May Die. There are 4 seasons. I almost splurged for Season 4 while doing Season 3. I was this close. It was like another $70. But I thought to myself, hey, Season 2 or Season 1 might be better value down the line. And just because something is happening during a Kickstarter campaign doesn't mean it will never be held again. So these are our characters. I feel like I kind of want to open these characters because especially if you know the game and you want to see their abilities, that's probably pertinent information for you. What's the best way that you all open these? Probably X-Acto knife along the edge, I guess. Or really just stick your nail in there. But I always find when I stick my nail in there, and that just happened, is that you kind of bend the outside of the player board, which isn't the greatest. All right, let's look at little Julian. Get myself out of the way. Goodbye. So everybody always has like 3 skills. Julian's is Silent Witness when making any roll except against yourself. After all re-rolls, you can heal 1 stress or wound for each. Stealth, when you run, you can sneak once. And when you make any roll, you can count 1 Cthulhu insanity symbol as a success. Classic Julian. I mean, I already know who I want to be. I want to be Mike, who's this beautiful, burly man. Proficient when attacking for each stress you spend to reroll a die. You can resolve an additional die one at a time. Brawling or toughness. I think you'll see repeats of these things as we go through. And it also gives you that potential for mixing and matching, I find. Show off. There's another investigator in your space. You can gain stuff. And then you can level up all of these stats as well. You can target one space away. When you run, you can move an additional space. Leon seems very good knowing everything about the mechanics. When you run, when you sneak, you can heal one stress. When you run, you can sneak once. So stealth, right? So we have stealth. So Ruth has stealth and Julian had stealth. So you can include these different things. And you could basically just mix and match your own characters. That's kind of one thing which I know there's a big draw on, like getting all the exclusive, like getting this base pledge or getting the stretch goals for Cthulhu Death May Die was basically the same price. You get an entirely new expansion, or you could get a bunch of characters that you could probably homebrew, right? Consider that, again, just when you are purchasing exclusives, it's always good for me to hammer home, and I'll try to hammer home every time. Okay, that's Ruth. We got Hui Kong, self-defense, swiftness, and toughness. So we're just seeing the different combinations of these characters, right? Sally, avid photographer, arcane mastery, and toughness, another toughness. Smile big, Mr. Monster. Wow, too many teeth. Right, we've seen, I think, arcane mastery before as well. Stella, who also has arcane mastery, who also has marksman. Even me not knowing anything about the game, I'm seeing the patterns. Chemical explosive, when you attack, you can target one additional figure in your target space. So all these different things that feel like they are significant, and when you're like, yes, I'll get a bunch of more of extra investigators, the differences feel negligible, right? Especially when they're kind of just all pasted together in these ways. So that was Sandra, there's Agatha, and there's Peters. I think that's probably it. It's probably 10, am I right? There's Julian. Man, I'm right. Cool, so those are the different characters. There's the board that we were talking about that you could put everything else sort of laid down on, and like a little monster board. We got our little pack full of tiles, which who knows if there's anywhere to put them in here. Probably they just lay out on top with some tokens. Again, another Come game that doesn't care whatsoever about storing your tokens. They don't care. You'll figure it out. But we're getting two big, oh man, that's it. That's all there is in the Elder God box. We have two big friggin' Elder Gods right here, 1 and 2, that you can include in these sort of 6 episodes. These episodes being top of the morning. These episodes containing, some specific punchable things. I love punching things, and I'm going to start now. We have our monsters that we're using in each episode. We have the layout of the episode that tells us what the episode is, and we have the little brief description. Kilkenny was one of the first witch trials in history, and one of the few to find actual witches. Now, though, cultists are using ancient energies to power their rituals. As a side effect, the spirits of the old witches have risen. Petronilla de Meath, unjustly accused, and the witch, Alice Keitler, who got her condemned, are battling through their ancient feud anew. Only proving Petronilla's innocence will finally lay her spirit to rest, taking Alice along with her. And then that's kind of the sort of scenario that you get. Cool. Yeah, let's just pump these right out. Not bad. Not bad punching. Not bad punch board. Plop those bad boys back in there. We have the specific Mythos cards, where there's Ghastly, there's a Ghastly Presence, the Unknowable, Ghostly Energies, Prosecution, Alice Keitler, I Need a Drink, tell me about it, and then Whispering Lies. Cool, just all the different scenarios that are kind of put together. And then we have the 15 discovery cards. As to when a discovery pops up, you can take 2 stress to claim the Woman in White. Woman in White, while you have her, gain 1 level in Arcane Mastery. This companion cannot be given wounds. And these are some of the instances of discovery cards as well. Which doesn't seem like they have to be in order, even though they're saying Ghost of Fourth Husband, Vial of Poison, Book of Spells, Cool, all these different like events that pop up. Yeah, this might give me all of that Arkham Horror feel that I could want, because I really enjoyed Arkham Horror, but I inevitably got rid of it because the only person who I'll play it with will be Matt. Or honestly Meg, because I know Meg's got it in her tops, but probably never. Then we've got a bunch of relics here, some unknown behavior, some sanitarium files, so basically if you go insane, you get this thing, I think. And some unknown monsters, which they might pop up and then you might have to deal with them. That's kind of cool. Let's see what this is like, pulling this out. We move on to anything else. But like, this is also so frustrating to me because there is no spot where a little token holder can go. And if we're supposed to be having these punchable tokens and these different types of punchable tokens, that they're all just going to sit in bags on the top, doesn't get me that excited. However, these punched out quite well, and these are like nice sturdy cardboard, so that's nice. Oh, and look, you can mix and match your own. Anyway, I know these are to like give to companions or whatever. Also didn't give you any bags in here, so just, what should we do with these tokens? Come on, just throw them haphazardly in the box at the end? Because that's seemingly what you're telling me. Oh, that's where those go. Yeah, perfect. Great spot for them. Fun shapes, though. I do like that they're not all just squares. And they'll pop out really, really quite nicely. Nothing is torn as I'm doing this very haphazardly. Which that always sucks when you're punching things out and you haven't even played the game and then you tear something by accident. And I don't want to deal with these now, so I'm just gonna keep them unpunched for now. Let's see what's under the hood of all this tape. Yeah, why invest in trays when you know everybody's going to just throw them out? Why invest in trays that actually snap shut when you can have trays that break because the tape is stronger than, right? Just like being pulled apart right now by the tape. Oh, the Koi Clan? I didn't know you were in this game. Perfect. I'll absolutely be getting rid of this and just putting these guys in a bin. Because I find that Kamon's minis are like definitely sturdy enough that any of their sort of en masse characters never really need a tray. These are all your generic cultists. Oh, and your investigators. These are all your investigators. Okay, cool. That's fun. These guys seem fine. Oh, Julian. Sweet little Julian. Oh, okay. And then we got over here, we got our little ghasts, which are just like E.T., not phoning home, but coming to eat your brain. We have this Sobek of the Cthulhu variety. We have the thing from Stranger Things, ×2. And then we have that big friendly monkey from the Neverending Story with a big tongue, I think. Pretty sure I got all those right. So yeah, I might keep that little thing. Definitely gonna get rid of that. And then in here, oh good, we have some space and some bags for some tokens and some dice. Not that many dice. I was expecting more dice to be chucked in this here dice chucker. But luckily we also have the Snake Men from He-Man with just like, again, the biggest friggin' line I've ever seen on a small mini. Yeah. These are fun. Honestly, the ones in Trudvang are nicer. But maybe that video hasn't come out yet, because I'll wait until I have a busy week. Perfect spot for them. Okay, finally, let's look at our 2 elder gods. We have Azathoth and Tsathoggua. Let's look at Azathoth first, because I recognize the name. Some tokens, some minions, some mythos cards, and then just one big frickin' mini. Oh, and some other buddies down below. All right. Wow, that is one puckered chasm. I guess there's all the eyes around here. All right. Well, Zach, you're gonna have to paint these, I think, to make them scary. And then we have these little trumpeters down below as well. Cool. They're the dancers of Azathoth. And in case this is relevant to people who are watching at home who want to know what Azathoth does, I'm going to make sure that I get a nice clean view of what all the stages are, just of the different abilities down below. That's what Buddy does in the final stage. And then we have the minions as well. The cultists exalt the Daemon Sultan, and when destroyed, place a cosmic token on the non-cosmic cultist / monster with the most health. There we go. The amount of variability remains to be seen. However, that's a big friggin' monster. Big frickin' monster. Oh, with actually... Did you do it finally for once in your life? A little well for some tokens? Way to go. Good job. Come on. You did something correctly. Mainly because you had this space in the box and you wanted to make this guy look cool. And then secondly, we have again another monster, Tsathoggua. He's French. Again, similar breakdown. It's going to have the monster in there. It's going to have these tokens. Oh, of course. Yeah, no place to put those. We also don't need that much space. Like, this is not a box in which we need this much space. We can condense these even with having this, but everything is in its own sort of set box. But that doesn't actually mean, for like storage purposes, that you really need it whatsoever, which you certainly don't. So I'm sure there's a lot of good storage solutions on this buddy as well, but just worthwhile talking about if you're thinking about combining things. There's definitely wiggle room to be had. Again, I'm going to go through these stage cards just one by one, in case you want to see what happens at the end of each turn, to know the progression. If you know this and you're thinking about getting it, you want to make sure that you have all the information possible. The cultists are the same. And then we have these buddies, the amorphous scions, which look like these. If you don't paint these, all of these like little gooey, tentacly monsters are very underwhelming, I find. This buddy is so much cooler with his little tail and his eyes popping out here, but I feel like it's something that you would really want to paint these. So Zachary, let's hope it works out. And we might as well use this box for something. It does not seem like this is something you should use it for. Maybe I can just put a little bin at the bottom because there is so much space. That's probably what I'll do. And I'll definitely be using this guy first because he looks cooler. So there you go. So that's the base box, essentially. You get 6 of those missions, or those episodes, rather. 2 Elder Gods, which I've talked to people and they're like, the Elder Gods provide the most variability. That is what I've been told. And I can see that. I can see why. And then a bunch of these tokens, which are garbage. And then all of your your other little cutouts, which this seems like a horrible, horrible organization. And I'll have to figure out a better way to do this than this haphazard monstrosity that I have thus done. This is just awful. And this is why you could cut some of that space underneath Buddy Boy that we just looked at to improve the packing and the setup of your people. But what do I know? I just know that I have lid lift and it's gonna make me filled with agony, but I want to get on to see what the next box has in store. That's probably more triggering than my shuffling, and believe me, I am as triggered as you are. So let's go ahead to the Unknowable box and find out if we can learn something. And we'll start with the back. Boom! We get a few lost episodes, which will have different stuff in them, which are cool. And then we have another Elder God box in here, which I think is sweet. Plus a bunch of investigators. There's a lot of value here, I feel. It is basically doubling the content of Cthulhu of the Season 3. And that's pretty exciting. We get 4 lost episodes and a big old new Elder God, so you get 3 as some options for variability. But that's the thing, is I feel like people are so worried about the like exclusives and having different things than other people. This Unknowable box, oh cool, has new investigators, has some different skills. Like, you're gonna have a bunch of investigators, boom, 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 all these guys, a bunch of these friggin' dashboards. So many of these dashboards, man, oh man. Okay, we're just gonna blaze through them as quickly as we can. Escape Artist, Arcane Mystery, Stealth, right? Gate Influence, Arcane Mystery, Marksman. So we're kind of all only just getting that one special ability up top. And I'm just gonna move through these quickly, but if you wanna pause them, you can. Dolly, Flamboyant, once per roll, except against yourself, you can reroll all dice, right? But everything else is just kind of a combination of all the other things. You have your special ability and then your 2 generic abilities, which make these pretty easy and very much like Zombicide people in that it doesn't matter. The sculpts don't matter. Oh, maybe that sculpt matters. And Forrest Whitaker as Charles might matter. But right, like these aren't going to provide you with that much of a different experience, because you're always going to be dealing with like the brawling, the stealth, the extra marksman, the swiftness, the toughness, and the arcane mastery. Like, those are the 6 that you're going to be cycling through. And doesn't matter if Bill Nye's there pointing a shotgun at you. But these are just clearly like, I don't see how they get away with these for like copyright, or that celebrities aren't like, hey, I don't want to be in this game. But they do. Honestly, I don't know if we've passed through it all. Yeah, we have. Okay. I thought we had. Boom. These are heavy. Man, that's a lot. It's kind of exciting. Even though I don't care about them, still pretty exciting. Cool, we have this extra discovery card. We have these new tokens. And then we just have these 4 boxes. Boom, 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 boom. Nug and Yeb. But like in this box too, there's gonna be the minis that you want as well, the contents of the box. Boom. Which opens from this side. You're gonna check one of them out. You get your discovery cards, you get your extra big cool buddy, you get a bunch of little guys, and the same things that you would get in most of the other things, a setup, how you set it up, and some additional tokens. I do kind of appreciate the actual kind of storage for each episode, though. It feels like that's a lot nicer than some of the other stuff. And then over here, we've just got our big stacks of minis. So all of our investigators, which I'm not going to open up right now. And then some additional monsters, which I guess I will open up right now. But small little guys that probably, again, don't really need to be in a tray. They could just be in their own kind of section. I don't see us being able to get this into one box, unfortunately, just with how it's structured. So it does look like it's going to have 2 boxes on the shelf, but you never know. And then here we go, a bunch more other guys. That seem kind of fun. These like little beetles that are going to come and get you. So some nice variability. These like Komodo dragons kind of creatures. Or some weird mascot that's turned satanic. Cool. Anyway, I feel like I always try to say things and then I get distracted by the things in front of me. And I'm gonna get distracted again as we open up Nug and Yeb. But the idea that you have to purchase these exclusives is stupid. There are 4 seasons of Cthulhu Death May Die. I was happy to buy it at Kickstarter and get a little bit of a benefit and get this, you know, Nug and Yeb, and then maybe I don't have to spend the money on season 4. Right? That was my point of purchasing it. I was like, I've heard good things about this game. I think it looks pretty neat. Oh, right. There's this little like Nug and Yeb influence track that you then like use Nug or you flip it over, you use Yeb, and they kind of just like cycle around. And even though these guys are cool, I mean, Nug is clearly the MVP with his big old tongue. Like, the actual gameplay implications you can get by not paying an arm and a Yeb to scalpers, right? Unless for some reason these are your favorite ancient gods, in which case, go for it. But I just think, like, gameplay-wise, I haven't seen anything here, as somebody who has yet to play the game, but haven't seen anything here that, like, means you should run out and pay scalper prices for, like, little cards that'll say, summon 2 cultists when they advance, and then the next one, which will be something different, which I'll show you again, in case you really want to know. Right, summon 2 cultists at the nearest gate, move Nug 1 space. Oh, and Yeb's on the back. Sub 2 cultists, move Yeb. Look at that, they're the same thing. You have to defeat both Nug and Yeb to defeat a stage, same thing on the other side. At the end of each turn, move Nug 1 space on the influence track. Oh my goodness, move Yeb 1 space on the influence track. And then the final stage, boom, move Nug 1 space at the influence track, and wouldn't you know it, move Yeb 1 space on the influence track. And these cultists, wow, they have 2 health, like every other cultist, and they're the worshippers of Nug and Yeb, the flavor text changes. And then finally we have Yeb. When Yeb is on the same space as Nug, Nug cannot take wounds. Or Nug, when Nug is on the same space as Yeb, Yeb cannot take wounds. The same, right? There is nothing here that means you should run away from your entire existence to get this game. Fun to have. If you get it for free, do you need to pay for it? Never. You never do. You never do for any sort of Kickstarter exclusives. But yeah, that's the contents. You get a crap load of investigators that all do basically the same thing. You get a few extra episodes, a few extra scenarios, a little bit of that variability in there. But generally the same thing as well. And you get 2 friggin' cool big boxes to put on your shelf. That's it. There's a rambling unboxing that hopefully you put on in the background and maybe took a little peek when I said, oh, this looks cool. Hopefully I was palatable background noise to you. That is all I've ever hoped to be. I hope that I can just relax you while you listen to me and do the important things in life. That's what I wish for you. Thanks for being here. Have you played Cthulhu Death May Die? I'm sure you have. Did you get this in addition to your season 1 stuff? That's what I'm interested in. And from what you've seen, if you like look through and watch through, what's the best value thing for somebody who's going next up for Cthulhu Death May Die? For me, especially, like, what should I get next if I find out that I'm like super in love with it? And like, what are your favorite sets, etc. And why does CMON continue not to put any effort into where their players are going to store their token? No idea. But that's a great question to ask as well. Thanks for being here. My name's Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase, but I am still pretty happy with my purchase. It's interesting. I filmed an unboxing for Tsathoggua recently, and it's probably not out yet. but the extra content that has finally arrived 5 years down the line. I try not to put too many unboxings back to back because we can only handle so much of this rambling. But I think like the value that you got from Cthulhu Death May Die 2022 significantly less than 2019. But still a pretty good deal, right? Like I would be very happy that like this absolutely was worth the shipping cost, because that's essentially what you pay on crowdfunding is the shipping cost and for the bunch of extras. And this is for sure worth it, like if the game is good. And I know the game system is good. I know people love the game system, and so I'm hopeful that I will as well. But yeah, Come On always has really good Kickstarters, but you still need to really love the game. Otherwise, you're spending $150 on something that you can unpunch and give to somebody else. Which, hey, that might be your favorite hobby, unboxing things. I enjoy unboxing things. I enjoy seeing the cool little toys and treasures. But I think you want to make sure that that excitement is still sort of there. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. I'm Chris George. I don't have a catchphrase. I don't remember if I've said that already or not. I think it's the first time I've ever said it, so that works out. Again, hopefully you're having a great day and this background speaking was enjoyable for you. That's what I like unboxings for. I kind of put them on the background while I'm doing something else, kind of glance over and spend time and hang out and listen to people's voices who give me that little ASMR feeling. I once was told that my voice was green by someone who had synesthesia, and they said people with green voices generally do better in life. And I said, I am contrary to that opinion, but it's a nice compliment all the same. Anyway, tell me something cool about Cthulhu, and any fact that you put down below about Cthulhu will be canon to the mythos. I don't make the rules, that's just what it's gonna be. So I'm looking forward to seeing us develop that canon mythos together.